Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be doing something about my Mustang. I had said in previous videos that we're going to start trying to do a little bit of work here and there on the other cars besides the Mercedes. So you might want to call this a little bit of a switching tips. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do today with this car, but first I'll tell you about what I think is actually happening going on. But I also wanted to say thanks for watching. Please make sure that you view and subscribe and like and share. It's much appreciated and really promotes us growing in the right direction and gets us out there in front of everybody. But as for this Mustang today, my HVAC blower motor went bad on the car, and I've actually changed it once before because it had rusted before, but wasn't really sure what happened with that. I had no idea. I was still kind of new to working on cars, and I changed it. It wasn't the easiest thing because I didn't have any clue of what I was doing at the time. But here we are again, a couple years later, and this thing is rusted again. At least I think that's what it is. But this time I think I have a little bit of a better theory about what's going on here. There's a cabin filter that's on your car. Pretty much all cars, after a certain point, have a filter that when it sucks in air into your car, it cycles out all the dust and pollen and everything that your car could normally suck in for fresh air in your car. Well, if that gunks up real bad and you don't change it, there's a potential that when you're running the AC and things like that, it could start to build condensation. Now, I'm not talking heavy condensation, but maybe a little bit over time to where drip, it drips down into your system. And as you'll see, if I remember correctly on this one, the fan is sitting up with the face upwards into the vent, and in one little drip falls on that little pivot point, axle, whatever you want to call it, in the motor. Over time it could rust. So I'm going to see, we're going to find out today if that's what actually happened. Then I'm going to change out the cabin filter, and I'm going to change out the HVAC motor and get my AC back, because I haven't drove this car a lot this year so far because it was winter time and I didn't really need to, but now I need some AC. So let's get this fixed once and for all and move on from there. So with that being said, we're going to start this off and get this thing fixed right now. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start on this, like I said in the intro. We're going to do this cabin filter, and we're going to change out the HVAC blower motor inside the car. So this is actually, as you can see, I've already popped out the actual clips that hold this in place. But your cabin filter is there behind the battery on a Mustang, well, on a lot of cars. And I feel like that might be this part of the source of my blower motor problems, as I had said. So we're going to go ahead. My V6, I wish I had a V8, but wasn't in the cards at the time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up that. We're going to check out the filter, and then we're going to go ahead and change it out. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to lift this up. Right like that, see in there. Okay. Push it down a little bit, and we can pull it on out. Oh gosh. Ooh-wee, my goodness. Well, this is a new concept to me. Said in previous videos, I'm not a mechanic, and you don't always know about this stuff. And if you don't talk to anybody about it, you don't realize, but I'm learning lots about all cars, and this is extremely no bueno. This has never been changed since I've got the car, I am embarrassed to say, but obviously we're going to do something about that. That is horrible. I'll admit it myself. Okay, moving on. All right, so we're going to take this atrocity of a filter. And on a side note, for anybody who doesn't know, if you ever wondered why you're sneezing a lot in your car, or you feel like your car is all of a sudden getting extra dusty compared to normal, and there's really no, I don't know, obvious reason, it might be this. Just saying, might be this. But anyway, flip this over, and this is just going to pop right out. like so. And yeah, we're gonna just chuck that. All right. So there's our frame that our new filter is gonna sit in. We're gonna take it and we're gonna set it in here. And it should just pop right into place. That's always nice when that happens. There we go. A little harder to do it one-handed. No, not too bad. There we go. It's in place. All right. I think that's pretty good. And our airflow, we checked that. Let's double check that again. Just, yes, airflow. Yes, airflow is in the right direction. All right. Oh, no. Had to blow that off. Goodness. All right. So let's go ahead and let's head it back into its home spot. Here we go. Okay, so we had to finagle a little bit to get it in. It isn't just drop right in and it instantly clicks in. You ain't got a lot of space to get it through the opening, but nonetheless, it's lined up in the bottom part. And I click it in, and ta-da! We have a new cabin filter. So that's this for step one here in the process. Let me try and resolve this issue once and for all, okay? And now we can go ahead and put our clips back in. So just push our clips back down. If it wants to cooperate, of course it doesn't. Fiddling with this thing. And boop. All right. Let's move on to the next part of this journey, which is a little more difficult. So for this next portion, we are going to do the HVAC fan. Now, that's what's originally is the problem. Unfortunately, this is actually my second one. I don't know if that's a thing or maybe I didn't address the issue before. As I stated in the beginning, I think my theory is it might have had something to do with that horrible cabin filter. But anyway, fan goes in here. It's actually down there. I got the glove box open like this just so I can kind of give a general idea of where it's at, but we're actually going to go from underneath. It's 3 bolts, and it should come out fairly smooth. I believe last time I did it, which I did not record, this was a few years ago, but the last time I did it, it didn't give me too much of the flux, but we're going to see how this one goes. So let's go ahead and let's pull this one out. Should come out fairly easy. Of course, you know, now that I've said that, it probably won't. And it won't. All right, so I tell you what, we'll pause it here for a second while I get this thing out. All right. So those who have never seen one, this is what the HVAC fan looks like in a Mustang. Kind of like a hamster wheel. But I guess it must be the most efficient engineered way to do this. This thing is going to go up into that housing. Oh, so it's going to be kind of like that. And you see the bolt holes there. There's 3 of them. And then that lines up with the air feed. And then there is 1 plug that snaps into place if it cooperates. So, with that being said, let's see where we're at and try and get these bolts off. I'm trying to be lazy. I ain't going to lie. I have put an 8mm socket on an extension on this drill. If I don't have to ratchet crank it, to me, it'll be faster and my life will be better. So let's try this. To be honest with you, I might have to take that extension off. I might not need it that long. But I guess we'll just test that theory. So here we go. Trying to show you everything. Okay. And from here, obviously, we'll drop it down and you'll see what this one looks like, and then we'll move on. I'll be honest, it's gonna be hard to unscrew this holding this camera, so and there's not a lot of space down here, to be frank. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I unfortunately can't show you that. I'd like to, but there's just no room. So we're just gonna go ahead and advance forward, and you'll see it out in a second. Okay, so success. We got it out from under there. There's the wire clip. See, one simple clip that plugs in the back. Got it down. And there's the old one. And there's the new one. So let me show you. Look at the rust. And there's actually, there was, I think, you can kind of see that there's some rust spots on the inside. And the thing is I'm not faking this thing. Look at this. I'm actually putting pressure on it. It does not want to turn. It's seized up, I think, because of the rust. This one, I barely have to move it at all. This thing free spins, no problem. The hamster will be happy. I better look for him up in there. Where'd he go? Anyway, so yeah, this thing is done. So yeah, I definitely think my theory, like I said in the beginning, is right. I think that cabin filter has been bad a while, and as I said before, I didn't really know about cabin filters like that, but I think that the condensation would build up on it, because I can't see any actual leaks in anything that would make water drip down into this fan. And when this fan sits up in there, it sits there face up, so the water, whatever it's come from, can drip right in there. And I think slowly through time it drips through and gets down in the motor. And it's not even that the thing don't want to work, because you can hear it hum when the thing's on. It's just the rust has made it seize, so it won't spin because of the condensation from the bad cabin filter. I think even a slow drip, we're not even talking like water pouring in a car. We're talking about, I don't know, a couple drips a day, maybe over the span of a couple years, and very slowly the thing rusted. So the moral to this story is, I think, make sure you change your cabin filter. It just seems to be the way to go. I had no idea it was so important. And I've talked to quite a few people, and there's just a lot of people that didn't even know that was a thing. But every day you learn something new. So nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pop that one in there. Also, I wanted to point out, as you can see, 3 bolts, just 3 bolts. And like I said, the clip, it is precarious to get under there. The last bolt on the very back of the firewall, I had to just go ahead and detach. First of all, I didn't use the extension, but on that last bolt, I put the extension back on, and I had to just basically work it out the rest of the way by hand. You know, it's like you stick your head down there and your shoulders, and it's not, hey, little bug, I didn't ask you to be on my video. Anyway, it's not very copacetic to what you're trying to do. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pop that one back in, and then we will get everything plugged up, and hopefully we'll be happy and we'll hear this thing come to life and blow air. And I don't really want any heat, it's really hot here, but if it blows air, we are going to be in business. All right, so here we go. Okay, as you can see, that is the right time. It's 8:40 p.m. So it shows your boy be working later at night, although granted it is still daylight outside. But the point is, the kitties had to go to bed first. But anyway, I continue on. Let's go ahead and let's turn that dial. Oh, voila. Wind. Oh, that's fabulous. Wow. It's been quite a while since I've had that. It's been, you know, kind of went bad in the late winter, and I was already wearing layers for work. So, and then the early spring, I just rolled the windows down. But yeah, granted, 82 isn't that much, but considering it's almost 9 o'clock at night, yeah, I'm not a big fan of heat like that. I'm from the north, so whatever. So, this seems to have worked out. I'm very pleased. Something fixed on the Mustang, something other than the Mercedes. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys, and it all's down there. Okay, so that is the finish of this. Installing cabin filter in the car, which took a couple clips to pop out and a little bit of stretching back of some plastic, and we were able to slide that out and put the new one in after getting rid of that horrid one. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and then we got our blower down here, which was 3 bolts and a plug. Like I said, it's not hard. A little bit of work to put into it. You get down in there. I don't know what it would cost to have a dealership or somebody else do it, but 3 bolts and a plug is not that big of a deal. Just a little bit of elbow grease, and it's all good. But I think that'll solve all the problems. Hey, I have AC and everything else again. I'm very happy about that. But if you liked this video, which I hope you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. I'm not sure if this video is going to drop first. I also have a new Mercedes video coming shortly, so maybe that'll be first. I don't know. Either way, watch them all. I'd really appreciate it. TJ'd really appreciate it. We all would, with the support of the channel. So please, stay safe out there. It's a little bit crazy out there right now. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.